is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Nasha Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. It was a soggy South Florida day, and we're not done with the rain just yet.
Yeah, woke up with all that rainfall. Thankfully, most of it is out of the way, but we do have an additional chance of some showers, I think, for the remainder of this afternoon. Not going to be the torrential downpours that some of us have seen down in the Keys. My goodness, a deluge this morning, as we talked about yesterday. But notice how things have quieted down for the most part. I don't think we're completely zero as far as rain chances the rest of tonight. We still have a few more showers in the forecast as we take a look at just a few scattered light sprinkles over the metro here and heading up towards Fort Lauderdale as well, where we have not picked up much. This has been kind of the trend, right? So further south, heavier rainfall there, and a little bit further to the north, we haven't seen as much rain. There are leftover showers. We'll continue to see this on Next Weather Rain Tracker. That'll begin to lift up to the north, but notice the intensity, right? So anywhere you see these colors there, that's typical of more heavy rainfall, but also some lightning as well. So some thunderstorms involved over the Everglades. But notice as we hit through the heart of the evening commute, 5:30, 6 o'clock, it's not going to be a lot. The best chances for some moderate to heavy showers will be over the interior, and we're talking, almost west of Chrome here. So that is the way things are going to shake out for the rest of tonight, and then we'll get back into some rain chances for tomorrow. I'll show you that in a second. I want to show you the latest as far as Gabrielle. This is our tropical storm that has the potential to become a hurricane, but Gabrielle has been struggling of late as far as its organization. It hasn't really intensified. I mean, look at the numbers here. We're still looking at a 45, 50 mile an hour storm, and it has been just plummeted, pummeled, I should say, by some very strong upper level winds. Those winds can really shear off the thunderstorm tops, and that's why we haven't seen much with Gabrielle. Notice this forecast here. The Hurricane Center keeping this as a tropical storm as it begins to move up to the north into, a little bit closer to Bermuda, which will have, looks like, indirect impacts right now. In fact, I'll take you further in as we take a look at Bermuda. Now technically outside the cone, I still are going to have to deal with waves as the storm intensifies, because the forecast is for a Category 1 hurricane by the time we get into early next week. But that should be its peak. I think by here, we're going to start looking at a transition into a post-tropical system, which won't have much as far as any significant impacts anywhere near land. As far as the forecast for tomorrow, so unlike today, I'll want you to think tomorrow is just kind of like a regular season, wet season kind of day. So we are going to start with sunshine. So that's always a nice thing for a Friday. You wake up and you see plenty of sunshine. The sunshine will give us some clouds through the afternoon. That'll bubble up the storms. And between 3 and 6 tomorrow, that's the timing for tomorrow's afternoon showers and thunderstorms. No next weather alerts, no advisories. This is going to be pretty typical stuff here. Hit or miss, scattered storms between 3 and 6, and then heading into the upcoming weekend. No change from the thinking yesterday, right? So we continue with some drier air working its way in. That's going to lower our rain chances. We're talking, 30 to 40%, manageable stuff. And in fact, the warming trend and the lower rain chances will continue as we head through early next week as well, with coverage down to 30. Naja.
Why does it seem like the rain always hits during rush hour, both in the morning and the evening? Ivan, thank you for the latest. And we are at the peak of hurricane season. The Next Weather team is making sure that you are prepared. Scan the QR code and find all the tools you need to help you get ready. You can also find our 1-hour hurricane special. It has important information for you and your family. Just go to cbsmiami.com. Now to a still developing story. Jimmy Kimmel's fate at ABC is up in the air. It's after the network indefinitely suspended the late night host over his comments about the murder of Charlie Kirk. CBS News Miami's Gwen Baumgardner has the latest from Los Angeles.
Trump must go now!
Jimmy Kimmel is off the air for now, and the news brought a small group of protesters to the studio where he tapes his long-running late-night show. The controversy erupted over comments he made Monday night.
He had some new lows over the weekend, with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
ABC took action after the nation's largest local television company took a stand. Nexstar Media Group announced it was pulling Kimmel from the 28 ABC affiliates it operates.
ABC also got an earful from the head of the FCC over Monday's broadcast. Chairman Brendan Carr says late night TV needs a wake-up call.
I think there's a lot of commentary on late night having shifted dramatically over the last 10 years. It used to be that they would go for laugh lines, and it's shifted to going for applause lines.
Thursday, President Trump dismissed free speech concerns and celebrated Kimmel's suspension.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago.
On Capitol Hill, several Democratic lawmakers said they do see a threat to free speech.
When the head of the FCC is talking openly about taking away the broadcast license, then that is the government trying to exercise censorship.
Kimmel's contract with the network is up in May of next year. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
We have new details on a story that we have been following for you. The Broward State Attorney's Office has closed its investigation into Pembroke Pines City Commissioner Jay Schwartz. They decided not to charge him with impersonating a police officer following an incident that happened earlier this year. The incident took place back in May at Flanagan High School. That's where Schwartz teaches a class on aviation. He was accused of walking up to students and showing them a ceremonial badge he was given when he became a commissioner and began asking them questions. He is not a police officer, but the students were so rattled, they complained to the principal. FDLE investigated, and after several weeks, they decided there was not enough to move forward with charges. Miami-Dade County commissioners are set to vote tonight on a proposed 2025 and 2026 budget plan. It's in an effort to combat the county's $400 million deficit. Leaders are suggesting a reduction in funding from local nonprofits. It would ultimately cut the funding from 100% to 70% of the roughly $18 million available. Groups have been pleading with officials to restore those funds. They say without that money, they will have to terminate programs like jobs and essential resources for the community. The public is invited to tonight's meeting. It is set to begin at 5 p.m. It was a wet morning in a Hollywood neighborhood, and not because of the rain. Crews were called to the scene of a water main break. It forced the closing of a stretch of A1A south of Hollywood Boulevard and has not yet reopened to traffic. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten reports the break impacted people and businesses.
Just to give you an idea of where we are, when you take a look up this way, you see where the police are. That is the area right there at the bridge that comes from Hollywood Boulevard over to Hollywood Beach. The area south of Hollywood Boulevard on A1A southbound is closed, northbound is open. Let's give you a look at where we're talking about here with that water main break. It's a 16-inch water main that broke. You can see there's actually a flow. You can see water bubbling up. They've closed the road because there's a lot of standing water, actually I should say flowing water, that is flowing south on A1A. Now, to give you an idea of who's impacted by all this, the people who live in the high rises just south of here, they're going to have an impact with getting water because there's not enough pressure to get the water up into the higher floors of those buildings. They also could have some issues when it comes to air conditioning if their air conditioner uses water. As far as the Diplomat Hotel, we understand is okay at the moment because they have pumps that are able to get the water up to those higher floors. What we're waiting for right now is to find out when this break will be fixed and when the road will once again reopen. In Hollywood, Ted Scouten, CBS News, Miami.
Police in Coconut Creek need your help finding this 13-year-old girl. They say Stella Mitchell has been missing since yesterday. She was last seen in the area of West Hillsborough Boulevard and Lyons Road. She was wearing a black tank top and red, white, and black bell-bottom pants with black, white, and red Jordan high tops. If you know where she is, call police. The Broward Health Department has issued a 60-day rabies alert for portions of Davie. It's because a raccoon that was killed had rabies. This is the map showing the boundaries of the impacted area. It's north to south from the I-595 to Southwest 26th Street and east to west from Southwest 112th Avenue to Southwest 148th Avenue. People and pets should always avoid physical contact with wild animals like raccoons, bats, and skunks. When we come back, tragedy at Orlando's newest theme park. Why the popular ride at Epic Universe is closed today. That's next. Dolphins fans, are you ready for some Thursday night football? We have you covered as the Fins take on the Bills. It all starts with the Coach Mike McDaniel show at 7, followed by the Dolphins pregame. Kickoff is at 8. Then stick around for the 5th quarter after the game right here on CBS Miami. And an important programming note, your favorite CBS shows will still air on our sister station, CW Miami 33. Catch 2 hours of Big Brother starting at 8, then Matlock at 10. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. The Stardust Racers coaster at the Epic Universe theme park in Orlando is closed tonight. It is following the death last night of a man who was on the ride. Officials say they found the guest unresponsive after riding the dual roller coaster. He was taken to the hospital where, according to Universal, he died. Universal released a statement saying in part, Universal is cooperating with the Orange County Sheriff's Office following a tragic event involving a guest at Epic Universe on Wednesday night. We are devastated by this event and extend our sincerest sympathies to the guests' loved ones. We are fully committed to cooperating with this ongoing investigation. The attraction remains closed. Universal's Epic Universe is central to Florida's newest theme park. It opened to the public just this past May. Now to a consumer alert. Chrysler is recalling more than 160,000 Jeep Wagoneers and Grand Wagoneers. It's because the trim on some of the doors may detach while in use, increasing the risk of a crash. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the problem is due to an assembly issue and impacts models from 2022 through 2025. A company spokesperson tells CBS News it is not aware of any related accidents or injuries so far. Owners will be notified to take their vehicles to a dealership for a free repair. Meta has unveiled its new AI-powered smart glasses. The display glasses feature double battery life and sharper display and camera compared to previous models. The speakers also amplify sound. The glasses also include a tiny display that can be controlled via a wristband, and they feature live captioning and translation for better communication. The new Ray-Ban Meta display glasses will go on sale later this month, starting at $799. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.